Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss another topic for SVG Animation. Here we will discuss another new element that we can use in order to perform some transformation with animation. Okay, so basically we are going to discuss about the animate transform element. Okay, so in this session we will discuss what is animate transform element, why do we use it in SVG, how we can implement the things whenever we want to implement this animate transform element. Okay, but before we proceed, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be very easy for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on animate transform, but prior to that you should know what is SVG, how we can draw the basic shapes like rectangles, circles and all, because if you have that understanding, then it would be very easy for you to adopt the ongoing things. Okay, fine. So I think now we are good to start with the session, and here you can see the code is very simple and straightforward. We are just using one title in the head section. There is one heading which is HTML by Sharmit, and now if I show you the output, so it is coming like this, HTML by Sharmit. Now what we will do, we will put one heading here, over here another heading, and here I'll put the heading as animate transform element in SVG. Okay, now you can save this and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that animate transform element has been added. This heading has been added on our screen. Now what we want to do, we want to implement this thing on SVG. So firstly we are supposed to include the SVG here. So just simply write here SVG. In SVG, firstly we will put here width, height and all. So let's put the width as 1000, height as 500, style border 5 pixels, solid black. Okay, so what it will do now, it will include a border in this SVG area. Why we included the border? Just to show you the area that is covered by the SVG or Scalable Vector Graphic. Clear? Now after this, what we will do, we will include we will draw the shape on which we want to perform the operation. So for that I will use rect keyword for drawing the rectangle. So here I will write rect. In rect we will write all the required attribute, like the position of X, which would be 30, position of Y, which would be after position of Y would be 30. Then we will put height would be 110. Then we will set width would be 110 again. Then style would be stroke green. Okay, any color you can select, it is up to you. Then we for now we have selected a greeny yellow. Okay, then you can select the fill color. It is again up to you, like which color you want to use. So for now I'm just selecting blue, that is okay for me. Now I can save this and refresh it. So once I refresh my browser, you will see that one blue rectangle has been added, and there is a light. I think we should use any other color so that it could be visible. Red. Let's save it. So now you can see there is a red color border around this rectangle. Okay, fine. So we have added this thing, but so far we have not implemented any animation here. Why? Because we have not applied it, right? So let's apply that. So far we have just added the normal rectangle. That is good. Now, and I'm also assuming that you know about these attributes, because we have already discussed it multiple times, how to draw a rectangle, what are the X position, Y position and all these things. Now what we will do, after this we will put some animation on it using animate transform element. So for that you just need to write here animate transform Perfect. Now this is the element. On this element we will apply some attribute to perform the animation, and attributes would be, first attribute is attribute name. Here I'll put the name of the attribute, which is transform. Okay. Now before we move further, let me explain you the definition first, because I think we forgot to discuss on that, like what is animate transform. Okay, so animate transform is just an element that we can use to animate the transform attribute of the target element. Target element could be anything, right? So for example, here we are using rectangle. So in case of rectangle, when we want to transform the when we want to animate the transform attribute, in that case we will use this animate transform element. And as other element, this is also used inside the target element. So our target element is rectangle, so we are applying it here. Clear? Fine. So I think now this is clear. Now we will directly write the code, and in this code we will just simply note down the required information, like we have included this attribute name, which is transform. Then we will put begin. Begin would be 0 second. Then we will put here dur. Dur would be 10 seconds. Then we will put type. Type would be rotate. Then we will put from here. From would be 0, 85, 85. Not comma. We will just put one space. Okay. From 0. I'll tell you what are these attributes, but for now I'm just writing it. Then I'll explain you after the output. Okay. So then we will put 2 value. In 2 we will put 360 space 85 space 85. Okay. Now after this we will put repeat count. In repeat count we will put indefinite. Okay. NITE. Now you just save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that the shape has started rotating. Okay. And how it is rotating? Because we have applied the animate transform element, and as per the animate transform element, it is transforming the it is animating the transform. Okay. Now I think now it is clear. Now if let's say if you want to change the duration, let's say instead of 10 I want to make it as 20. So what it will do, it will slow down the rectangle. You can see now rotation is a bit slow. If you want to make it fast, just go with 1 second, and now you can see the speed. It is rotating at 1. Okay. What will happen if we do 0? It will freeze. Okay. So make sure to provide the valid value here. I think 10 is okay because it looks good. The speed is look okay, fine, but it does again depend on you, like what color you want to do, how you want to rotate. That is all depend on your project and your requirement, but this is just an example I have shown you just to show like how it works. Clear? Now let's talk about the attribute, because this is also an important part. So if we talk about the attribute, the first attribute that we are using here is the attribute name. So the attribute name attribute animates the transform attribute of the rect element. Clear? Then we have begin. The begin attribute defines when the animation should start. Then we have dur, which is a short form for duration, that defines the duration of the animation. Then we have type. Type attribute defines the type of transformation. Then we have from attribute defines the starting value. Likewise we have to, which defines the ending value. And then we have repeat count, which defines the like how many times animation should play. Clear? Now most of you might be thinking like, what is the meaning of these values? In from and to we are using 0 space 85 85. So here the first value is representing the angle, rotation angle in degrees. Okay, so this is 0 degree, this is 360 degree. Okay, and then the remaining two values are the pivot point, which is x and y, 85 85 85 85. Clear? Now if I explain you in easier way or easier form, so you can say that from this value, from 0 to 85 85, this means the rotation start at 0 degree around the around the point 85. Now if we talk about 2, then it will start from 360 degree and move around the position 85. Clear? So and then we have repeat count, that you already know that how many times you want to perform this, that you can pass here. So I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.